Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you very much for attending this presentation. I'm very glad to be here today to present you this project that we do with Stephanie right here. Please help me if I'm struggling with the presentation. Dina at Aston and Christine at HEC, and this is me. So before starting, and even before basically reading the title, I just want to tell you some words about the way we came to this research topic and research question, why we had this idea. Basically, with Stefan, Dina, and Christine, we wanted to work on TV series consumption, just study the different ways people were consuming TV series and different routines around this, and it's still. But it was really exploratory without any, preconception. And with the first interviews, we realized that some people were, and lots of people were, sometimes a bit embarrassed of telling which TV series they were watching. It's true that when you compare with very high quality TV series like I don't know The Wire or that have a good reputation of high quality, good scenario, intellectual, very intellectual and complex scenario. Some people were feeling a bit ashamed of saying that they were watching things like EastEnders or Hollyoaks because of maybe we thought of the threat of being put in a specific group of people, being stigmatized as belonging to a specific stereotype that maybe they weren't feeling belonging to. I thought it was interesting, so we decided to dig in this specific topic, question, understanding how people try to legitimate the fact that they were consuming this specific TV series. Legitimating, yeah.
People from any cultural background?
I will come to that. No, we will try to see different backgrounds, basically.
Because Caroline was presenting a paper, and in Germany you have a lot of shows that are quite, let's say, sophisticated, if we call it. So I would expect to have, let's say, differences among the countries, especially if we go to Spain. They don't have so many sophisticated series, so we feel more comfortable to watch.
Yeah, maybe. So we won't really. Well, maybe we will, but we are not yet looking at these differences across countries. What we try to do, it's a work in progress, so we haven't really done that yet. But what we try to do is to see the difference across what we call level of cultural capital, level of cultural status that people claim having. So. Anyway, so how they try to legitimate the kind of TV series consumption they consume, they perform, like, how they try to show that this specific TV series is culturally valid to watch, basically. So it's a work in progress. Even the title is a work in progress. We have different titles. The first title that you have in the program is Understanding the Dynamics of Legitimization in the context of TV series consumption, how people legitimize their consumption of TV series, but also investigating the dynamics of social stratification, basically how people organize different stereotypes, groups of people, according to what people, which TV series people watch, basically. So what are these dynamics of social stratifications behind the consumption of a cultural product with an ambiguous status? So what is an ambiguous status? The next part of the title. Let me just basically explain you something, and this may be the one of the contribution of the paper is that the fact that past research have studied these processes, some of these processes of social stratification, of stigmatization and legitimization in the consumption of highly legitimate cultural products, like, visiting museum, going to classical music concerts. This typically is considered by society as highly legitimate. Okay, when you say that you practice this kind of consumption, cultural consumption, you are very often seen as someone belonging to a high status group, basically. And this has also been done in some low legitimate cultural products like real TV, street art, rave parties, where which are less legitimate. In order to make you really understand the thing, imagine you want to send a CV to a recruiter, and you have always this hobbies section. You will very much more often find this kind of hobbies, like I like visiting museum and going to the cinema and listening classical music concerts, rather than people who claim watching real TV or going to rave parties, basically, because one group is more legitimate than others. And now what I want to show in this presentation is what about cultural progress that are not, that we think cannot really be classified as highly legitimate or low legitimate. So I try to show you why we think that TV series have this ambiguous status. And basically how this, the question would be how this stigmatization, legitimization process work for cultural products with ambiguous status. Okay, perfect. So let me start with this notion of cultural capital. This kind of literature we'll dig in to start. So basically cultural capital